Neil McEvoy, co-GM of the BC Lions. And Neil, I was telling the viewers, I was worried about you. I saw you on a plane last night. I was worried about where you were going, your safety on this bye week. What were you doing last night, man?
What an amazing experience. We had a leadership conference with the Canadian Air Force, and we flew up to Comox and just talked leadership. And you know what? We found out that our organizations and our systems are pretty much alike. You know, a lot of combinations. So we went up to Comox and just spoke about leadership, and they learned a little bit about us, and we learned a lot about them. So it was what an amazing experience.
Neil, listen, we got to do another interview on that. Those military people are special people, and I've done the same thing with them. And they see football the same as Army stuff, and I'm like, guys, nobody's going to die out there on the weekend, okay? And they're like, yeah, but it's us versus them, and it's similar mentality. Yep. Is that the kind of stuff that you had?
Yeah, exactly right. You know what? In the military, unfortunately, there isn't world wars we're fighting anymore, which is great. But you know what? They still have a service, and they still have to be top-notch, which they are. And I can't say nothing but great things and respect for the Canadian military, and like I said, an amazing experience we did yesterday.
Yeah, well, like I said, I could talk to you about it forever because each other's lives are in each other's hands. The trust is paramount for them, and it is for winning football teams. So let me say this: congratulations on the start for the BC Lions, and then the move this week to get Vernon Adams. Can you take me through it? And when did you feel a move like this was going to be necessary?
Well, at the end of the day, yeah. Thanks. First of all, 8-2 is nothing. We're happy with our record. We're hoping to be 9-1, but you know what? Like anything else, when a football season, things happen. And Vernon has always been a guy on our radar. Ever since I traded him to Montreal 7 years ago, he's a guy that I felt that would be a good BC Lion, and we were able to make that happen this week. This was something that had in our books. I know. We just like to bring in good football players, and so if assets are available and available to us, and something that we can bring along to help us win, we're certainly going to do that. And this week was no different. He was available, and we spoke to Montreal, and we're able to work out some sort of compensation to get him. And so we're going to open him with open arms and see if he can help us win some games.
Well, what is it that you like about VA? I mean, it's a personality. He's electric and he's skilled as heck. Why has he had such a rough go in the CFL, do you think, in terms of sticking somewhere? And obviously things didn't go well for him in Montreal, despite his best efforts. So maybe this is the fit now that he's been looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I like our offense. I think our offense is filled with lots of power. That includes, all the receivers, and of course having Nathan throw them the ball, as you guys saw at Mosaic twice, that we were able to move the ball up and down the field and win football games. So I'm hoping that this is going to be something that Vernon's going to be able to come in and help us win some games. I have no doubt everywhere he's been a winner. Eastern Washington, Oregon, and even with his limited playing in the Canadian Football League, he's won football games. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to help him out. He's going to be able to help us out, and we can continue on this winning way.
Well, Arash was with us last segment, and he said, well, the Lions didn't have to give up much in a first-round pick for VA. And I'm like, well, I think Neil values Canadian draft picks, and probably Rick, too. Look what Jordan Williams, look at Nathan Rourke. Was it tough to part with the first-rounder, or how was that negotiation?
Yeah, there's two things to it. I love first-round draft picks, but we have a first-round draft pick in a defensive lineman that just got cut from Buffalo. We have a young man playing for the University of Saskatchewan this year, and University of Regina. So we have guys coming back. We have draft picks that we had drafted in the previous years that we're going to welcome back. So we felt that adding an asset like Vernon and giving up a coveted first-round draft pick was going to make us better. At the end of the day, you need to have top-notch quarterbacks to play professional football. And so we felt that giving up a first-round draft pick, especially since we feel we're going to have some guys come to us in the future that we had drafted in previous years, we were able to relieve ourselves of that asset and get a good asset in exchange.
You're a humble guy, but I'm going to give you a chance to not be humble. How does it feel to know that Nathan Rourke backed up your words, that he was everything that you said he was going to be?
You know what? Yeah. Going back to last year, I think having Nathan practice as he did last year with Michael Michael down and Mr. Riley not being able to compete on a daily basis has really escalated Nathan's, experience. And, all it should all go to him. He took the ball and he ran with it. And that's what we'd seen. You go back to on the show when I was on there and you were asking what he's going to be like. All I know is that he gets the ball, he throws it downfield, he finds the open receiver, he's humble, and he makes us a good football team. And when he was playing, he certainly did that. We were exciting. We're throwing for 400 yards and a half. He's giving each receiver 100 yards a game. It was great to see, but that was exactly what we saw of him. And I'm excited for the future and excited that he was able to take the ball and run with it.
Well, Neil, I'm in South Florida. I'm around NFL guys, college guys, high school guys tonight. I'm going to Cardinal Gibbons game in Fort Lauderdale. They're all talking about Rourke. They're drooling about Rourke. When it comes to his future, are you kind of a one day at a time kind of guy and not worrying about that? Like, how do you feel about that NFL talk around the guy?
Yeah, you know what? There's NFL talk around all our players in every team, every league. You know what? It just proves that, hey, the Canadian Football League provides opportunities for young men to, provide a living for their families. And Nathan is nothing but spectacular, and we're gonna do the best we can to retain him. I know, you know what? Hey, if the NFL wants it, they're going to take it. That's just the reality of the National Football League. But there's a lot of things that Nathan has playing in Vancouver, playing in front of his family and friends every day. The other day, his dad dropping him off at practice because he can't drive because of his injury. Like, a lot of that stuff he's not going to get anywhere else. And we're going to do the best we can to retain him as our quarterback. And, hopefully he will be a BC Lion for a couple more years. And then, maybe things change and he goes to the NFL or they don't. I mean, we're going to play it as it is. We have a good football player. Nathan is a spectacular person, spectacular player, and we're just excited to have him for as long as we can.
Well, it's been fun to watch. I'm just so happy for you guys that it's worked out. Keep it rolling, Neil, and enjoy the rest of the weekend on this bye, and keep in touch. Thanks for the time today.
Hey, can I say one more story? So we're on the military aircraft last night, and everything is great. Everyone's wearing BC Lion hats and everything else. And I look up on the roof of the military helicopter is a Saskatchewan Rough Rider sticker. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You can never get away from the green and white of Saskatchewan. So good on you. Dude, love you guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
I got a story for that too. Neil, you and I got to get a podcast together, man. And I'm glad you jumped in with that story, because the last time, for whatever reason, I forgot to bring up the story that you wanted to. So you jump in with whatever stories you have whenever you want. Thanks, Neil. Glad you made it safe.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Neil McEvoy, the BC Lions. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.